This demo will give you a general introduction to SPSS and also show you how to run descriptive statistics using the software. SPSS is a spreadsheet-based statistical software package developed by IBM. It is used to identify trends in data that can be used to run basic descriptive statistics or generate more complex prediction models. SPSS is widely used in the area of predictive analytics across several industries. The following is an example of how SPSS is being used for predictive analytics in the context of crime and security.
I was hired to reduce crime. The mayor said, I want this crime problem fixed. And he got him a crime fighter. Everything was working before. No, it wasn't working before. And why do you need this? Because you've got to keep up with the time and you've got to move with technology. You show the mayor what you got. He supports you, and he goes before council. Council gives you support because at the end of the day, everybody wants to reduce crime and everybody wants a safe community, because without it, you don't have economic growth, you don't have anything. That's kind of where we started when crime started rising back in 2005. By the time you got the information was old. By the time you put out a plan, you're working on something and it's changed 3 or 4 times since then. We were still doing things the way we'd always done things. When you do that, you can expect the same results.
We started out with the University of Memphis. They came in and used IBM's SPSS to create a statistical package.
And that's kind of where Blue Crush was formed. Crush is crime reduction utilizing statistical history. So using the data, using the history of crime to predict where you're going next and how are you going to deploy officers.
Say an officer gets a call on a burglary. He goes out to the scene, takes his PDA into the house with him, and he takes the information down from the victim. When the report hits the system, the crime analyst immediately has access to it. It tells us what our percentages are on all of the different crimes as a city as a whole, and shows each precinct commander where he is for that day, and where he is month to date, and where he is year to date, and where he is year to date over the past 5 years. The IBM solution has allowed us to take a new look and gain a totally different perspective on our data that we've always had.
And that's why you're seeing crime down 28% over 5 years, why you're seeing crime down 14% when we look at last year to this year. That's why you're seeing those things, is everything we're doing. Gosh dang, you know, you got to have a passion for it. Tell me an officer that doesn't like to lock up a bad guy. I mean, that's what they do. That's what they love. That's what makes their day.
For all SPSS demos in this class, we will be using the dataset shown here. To access this data, you can double-click it from its saved location and SPSS will automatically load and open the data. Or you can open SPSS. It will usually take some time to load. Select More Files in the dialog box shown and click OK. Locate where your SPSS data file is saved, then click Open. This is what the data will look like in SPSS. There are multiple views and multiple windows in SPSS. In the Dataset window, you will find 2 main views. The Data view shows you the list of actual data, whereas the Variable view will show you the scale of measurement of the data and any notes inputted by the analyst that states what the values in the categorical variables represent. The output from any analyses that you run will be displayed in a separate output window. At the top of each window, you will find a list of menus. In our demos, we will mainly be working with the Analyze menu. In today's demo, I will show you how to run basic descriptive statistics in SPSS. The dataset we're using includes a set of 100 SRA students that are each identified using a unique identification number in the ID column. The students' genders are represented using a nominal variable in which 0 represents male and 1 represents female. Major option indicates the option of SRA that the student is in, and academic year represents the level the student is at in their college tenure. The remaining variables are continuous and show the age of the student and their grades on 3 exams in the course. It is important to note that these exam scores are not taken from an actual SRA course and were mainly created for instructive purposes. To determine the central tendency, shape, and variability of this data using SPSS, we would first go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies. Highlight all the variables in the box by clicking ID, holding Shift, then clicking Exam 3. Then click the embedded arrow in the dialog box to move the variables to the right. Before continuing, you will need to select a few additional options. Select Statistics, and under Central Tendency, check the boxes next to Mean, Median, and Mode. Under Dispersion, check the boxes next to Standard Deviation, Minimum, and Maximum. Then click Continue. Select Charts. This menu will help you evaluate the shape of the data. Select Histograms and check the box that says Show Normal Curve on Histogram. Then click Continue. Then click OK. Your output may take some time to load. It will be displayed in the separate output window that I mentioned earlier. All your basic descriptive statistics will be listed in the first table labeled Statistics, and the distributions showing the shape of the data will be provided in the histogram section. It is important to note that SPSS will calculate whatever metrics you tell it to, regardless of whether or not it is appropriate for the scale of measurement. You will therefore need to apply your knowledge of statistical theories as discussed in Part 1 and 2 of the descriptive theory slides to determine what results can be safely interpreted in the output.